think I picked the wrong moment to hit play.
What?
I think I hit the wrong moment to hit play.
I don't care. What is all this?
What are you trying to find?
You know what? It doesn't matter anymore.
What are you looking for? Hello, good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Lawrence Watson Show, episode 16.
16.
16. This is really 16 this time.
This is 16.
Attempt number 2.
Attempt number 2.
Attempt number 2.
So now our podcast can give legal consent.
Yes.
Oh, hey.
Ooh. In
So,
certain states.
In some states. Some states not. We need 2 more episodes. So, anyway.
If this was Nebraska, you could marry our podcast.
This was Mexico. We could have given consent a long time ago.
Yes, that's true. So, I'm here as always, joined by my sidekicks, my friends.
Oh, sidekicks. This is how it's going to be.
Sidekicks.
Like we're Ed
On
McMahon.
the show, you're my sidekicks.
Yeah,
I thought this was a partnership. You know, we were all equal.
We're all equal. Look, I didn't elect you king.
Kings don't get elected.
Yeah. So,
Heaven mandates them.
yeah. So I'm here with my friends, my partners, if you will.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. John and Jeff Kirk.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody.
Yes, happy St. Patty's Day. And, of course, sitting over there across from me, another good friend of mine. He's always here, so I don't know why I introduced him separate. It's just become a joke by now. Mr. Tim Williams. Welcome back, Tim.
Hey.
It's like the on the opening TV show credits when it goes like also starring.
Yeah. I don't know why I do that.
Meshach Taylor has Shell.
Meshach Taylor.
Reginald Val Johnson as Carl.
Yeah.
That's not an also starring.
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Yeah.
So
No, he was one of the main
it was
characters on the
starring
show.
Reginald
Are you
Bell.
saying-
Oh, that's right. He
I
was
talking
first.
about the also starring.
He was first. I forgot.
That was Jaleel White.
So, like,
yeah.
I'm basically like Balky then. What's
Yeah, you're our Balky.
Yeah, Balky, yeah.
I don't know, but he got first billing. What the hell? What the hell is that? Hold on. I think we're getting a call in, and so I'm gonna put this on the air here. We're getting a call, I believe.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, this is Rick Dobsky.
Hi, Rick.
Hi, Rick.
Rick.
I'm calling because I thought your listeners might be interested to hear about some events coming up in the community.
Not really, but okay.
On Wednesday at 6 p.m., the First Presbyterian Church will be holding a spaghetti dinner. The dinner is BYOGC. That's bring your own garlic bread and sauce. On Friday night, beginning at 7:30, the Cub Scouts will be hosting their annual Pinewood Derby. Spectators may bring a homemade dessert, but due to some unpleasantness at last year's event, may not participate.
Okay,
Oh.
On Saturday afternoon, meet us in the Dairy Queen parking lot at 2 o'clock for the Buick Car Cruise.
Dairy Queen,
Fathers,
okay.
lock up your daughters. They won't be coming home that night if they catch us in our rides. On Sunday evening, outside St. Bartholomew's, we will be holding a candlelight vigil for the terminally ill McCreary boy. The vigil will be postponed if he makes it.
Jesus.
Oh, God.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah.
That's all for upcoming events in the community. Thanks, Lawrence.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know how to follow up with that, but that was our first ever call, Rick Dobsky.
I don't think Wade is screening them.
No, we need to fire Wade, I think. I need to hire Henry back.
Henry
Yeah, Henry was better.
Well, the problem is neither of them have opposable thumbs.
well,
Yeah.
that's what happens when you employ your pets.
I kind of feel like Henry got fired because he was black.
I was trying to frantically signal to John something, and
What was it?
What was it?
Oh, is John's bass still turned up?
Oh, yeah, I'm leaving it up like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're just going.
it's
very,
weird that I
It's
don't.
very NPR of me.
It's weird that I won't know
Well,
what
you
it sounds like.
yeah, you
until
don't know
I
what
go
it
back
sounds
to
we don't
like,
know what it
though.
sounds
I got the cans on. It sounds awesome.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
So what were you trying to signal?
Okay, so last night after the
Oh,
party.
okay, I got this. All right, we got a story for y'all.
Yeah. So
Oh,
last
really?
night, I'll start this off and then I'll throw it to you.
All right.
So last night after Carly's party, there was a nice little party the other day. John and I were coming home, And on the way...
All right, so it being St. Patrick's Day weekend,
Yes.
St. Patrick being the patron saint of alcoholism,
Joining some partiers.
I figured there were some authority figures around. In fact, we saw one.
We did.
And so, driving very carefully past a cop, had his lights on, he had somebody pulled over, and here we are
said,
going, uh-oh.
I wonder who that is.
It turns out it was Doug.
Oh no!
It was Doug.
It was Doug.
As
Did he
we
make
go
it
by,
out
like,
okay?
Hey, that's Doug.
Did anything bad happen to Doug?
Nothing bad happened to Doug.
He just
They
got
let him
pulled
go?
over?
Yeah, I shortly after I dropped Lawrence off, I called him, and is everything all right? He's like, yeah, I had a taillight out. I got off with a warning, and then I guess there's like, have you been drinking tonight? And he says, yes, but I don't really revel in St. Patrick's Day activities. And then after that, he told me about a dream he had.
So he's fine. He's
So
fine.
he's fine.
Huh. Well, I mean, fine is
Yeah.
As fine as
Fine
Doug
is,
can be, anyway.
Yeah.
Baseline for
Yeah.
Doug.
Well, yeah, but I was kind of worried because maybe got the field sobriety test and got thrown
Well,
into
see, that's
pokey
what
for
I
the
was
night.
worried about, whether he would actually pull him out and give him the field sobriety test. I didn't figure he would, but, you never know.
It's not that bad. Like, the first time you do it, you're a little scared that you might fail, but it's just nerves, and you get.
Just argue that it's not a sobriety test; it's an agility test.
You know what?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you should do. If you want to drive drunk, just take out one of your taillight bulbs. And that way, when you get, instead of the cop watching you for, erratic behavior, they'll just be like, oh, shit, that guy has a taillight on. I'm gonna let him know.
I don't
pull
think
his
that
ass
works
over.
that way. And then whenever you smell like a brewery, whenever you roll your window down.
Well, that's what.
Excuse me, sir. Have you been
breath mints are
drinking
for.
a little bit tonight? Well, I had one or two, just a couple of beers. Sir, I could smell it on you already. Get out of the car.
No,
What
that's-
about the taillight, though, officer?
My tail light is out. Weren't you going to tell me to fix it and leave me off with a warning? Because I think you have to.
That's how this is supposed to work.
didn't work at all.
This failed miserably. Now I have to take a field sobriety test.
And I have to put my taillight bulb back in.
What's that on your passenger seat? Taillight bulb?
What was your plan here?
Well, I thought that...
All right, so maybe it's not a good idea.
No, it's not a good idea
it's
at
a bad
all.
idea.
I think the driving drunk part was a good idea.
National
So-
pastime of Pittsburgh.
Driving drunk?
Driving drunk?
Driving drunk, yeah.
Ooh.
Because we're like 20 years behind. Because, I feel like if I was a police officer, I'd be like, why are you driving drunk? Why don't you take like a Lyft or an Uber? And they'd be like, Uber?
The hell's
What's
that? The hell's that?
That Mayor Peduto, he's ruining this city, man. He's got them bike lanes going. Now he got this new thing called Uber. What the hell's wrong with that, man? I tell you.
Sir, why don't you take an Uber tonight? I ain't one of the gays.
Listen, officer, I don't mean cast aspersions or nothing. I ain't no homosexual, you understand?
I don't trust those self-driving cars now. They're designed to kill people. I saw it on the news on Channel 4.
I tell you what, that Wendy Bell, she knows, man. She knows.
I'll leave Wendy Bell out of this, please.
Oh, who's the new hot weather lady?
All of them?
But she wears
Aren't they-
red. The one dispatcher, that's the only conversation we have when we come when I
About
come
the
in.
hot.
He's like, yeah, man, so and so's like really hot, and I'm like, yeah, she's cute. I log in.
Ever since high school, I always had a crush on WPXI's. No, not Bologna. Their traffic lady, Trisha Pittman.
Oh, Pittman's good too. But
She's
I was
still a
always,
babe.
Always,
And that was
Julie
10
Bologna.
fucking years ago.
So how old is she now?
I don't know.
10 years
I
older.
assume we're the same age now.
Who's caught up?
Who's NBC's weather lady?
It used to be Julie Bologna.
Yeah, it's
And
not
she was
anymore.
adorable.
Oh,
If
You want
I
to see
loved
the
her.
sexy weather ladies, you got to go to Mexico. That's where all the
Yeah.
TV stations, they always see like video,
Well, that's their gimmick.
pictures of the sexy Mexican weather ladies.
It's like the page 3 models in the British newspapers. It's their gimmick. You gotta have a sexy weather lady in Mexico.
You got to put asses in the seats, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think Mexicans? What kind of Mexicans gonna watch the weather? Oh, it's hot again today. I see.
It's going to be warm. And it's sunny out
Man, we
with
should,
no chance of rain.
wanna
It
move-
Olivia Gutierrez.
this just makes me want to move to Mexico. It's just sad.
Hey, we're almost through it,
Yeah.
all right? We're almost through it. It'll be sunshine, birds chirping.
Hey, next week it's just going to be rainy and warm.
No, it's supposed to be nice next week.
Really?
Yeah.
So now we're doing the weather on this show.
Yeah, we're doing it. You got it all here. We've literally run out of things to talk
It's
about.
a very
But hey, how did daylight savings time go for you guys?
It was fine.
it was fine.
All right, I'm out of beer. I'll be back.
That was
Okay,
fast.
John's just. Jesus, how did you run out of beer that quickly?
We've been screwing around for a half an hour before
Yeah,
we started
Oh,
this.
yeah,
at
that's
least
true.
like an hour.
Well, go get yourself.
Anybody
Go
else
get
while I'm up?
yourself a beer.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm about.
I'm good right
almost
now.
There-ish.
Jeff.
Yeah, I could use one, John.
All right.
Thank you. If
I'll be
you wanna
back.
grab me one.
Okay, so
You know what my dream would be
okay.
if Iron City sponsored this podcast. Like that would be like my ultimate Yinzer dream for Iron City Beer to like give us a sponsorship. They don't even have to pay us. Like they just give us beer.
We'll just mention your beer on our show.
And like bringing that up at like any bar in Pittsburgh, you would be a fucking hero. It's like, yeah, Iron City sponsors us. It'd be like, holy shit, man.
Yeah, look, if they gave us like say $1 an episode.
John, thanks so much for
Yeah.
for bringing me a refreshing
Dude, Iron City.
Iron City beer.
So,
Again, that's an Iron City.
that's an Iron
beer.
City beer.
Yeah, we can do it for free just as a labor of love, but if they want to give us, money or free beer
Family owned and brewed here,
In Pittsburgh.
according to the can.
from the gorgeous waters of Loyal Hannah Creek in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. Iron City Beer.
Oh yeah.
I feel like it would hurt their brand, though. We're not very, like, steel milly.
No, we're a bunch of soft liberals plus Jeff.
Yeah, but,
Soft
like,
liberals plus Jeff.
that would be the commercial,
I'm not soft
though.
or liberal, man.
They'd have, like, the new age commercial where it's, like, a new beer for the new kind of man. It would be us on Butler Street drinking in a hipster bar.
They already have those. It's every brewery, all the little breweries,
All those little craft
they're
breweries
all,
in the
that's,
city.
That's,
Yeah.
that's all of them. They're all the beer for the soft man.
You know
They fill them up with fruit and shit.
that's
Mango IPA.
I like those.
Yeah,
that's
because
another
you're a
thing,
soft
too, is-
man.
But also like a good, ice cold, refreshing Iron City Beer.
Don't we all?
Maybe we could get a brewery to sponsor us. Just, like, walk into...
Well, Timmy, I know
There's
you've
one
got
right
some
down
connections.
there's one right down
Yeah.
the road from here,
Yeah,
and I actually do sort of
Hey,
have a
don't I
connection.
normally throw you out of this place? It's like, do you want to sponsor our podcast?
I do sort of have a connection there, but I don't expect that we would ever get anything out of it except for like a free drink chip or something.
That's fine.
Yeah,
we would
but
take that.
that's the
true.
thing.
That's
like,
true.
It would be useless
I'm not-
for me, but
so I'm not
everybody
gonna say the
else-
name.
We
of
know
it.
that. We know that. Everybody knows that now.
Yeah, I know. I just
You have the shoehorn in every
Yeah, we
time.
get it.
Lawrence is not drinking. We made sure of that. There, we're
I didn't
good.
make sure of it.
she's
I don't
not
care if he
listening
drinks.
either.
I'm not going to stop him if he tries to have a drink.
So next time when you're at your local distributor, ask for Iron City. The
Okay,
taste
that's
of the
enough of
working
that.
man.
Yeah, I think that's what we were coming to here.
when we get an
Iron City
email
is a
from
listener.
Iron City saying, "Please take down that episode,"
Yeah, I'll get a call or a letter in the mail saying,
Have the show follow Iron City Beer on Twitter and see what happens.
yeah,
Iron City beer sales have fallen over 80%.
so
Did we have topics?
Oh,
for the
that's
things
such
that we
a
were
good
going to
beer.
talk about.
Yeah, we actually do.
I know we've talked about Fuller and Full House on this program before.
oh my god,
I'm sorry.
fuck! If I would have like. That's when I hit like the little X button.
That's the dump button.
Yeah, if I was listening at home. We've talked a lot about Full House on this.
I didn't say a lot. I said we've talked about it before.
I know what you're getting to, Lawrence.
Yeah.
I know what you're getting.
know.
Oh, okay. Now I
Because
I
the
get
chick,
where you're going.
what's her name?
Aunt Becky.
And Becky.
she,
Aunt
went,
Becky.
she went to jail.
She went to jail.
She was a bad girl.
Did she actually go to jail?
Yes.
Yeah, she did.
Yes.
She went to jail, but she got bailed out.
Did you have
$1 million
to-
bond.
$1 million bail.
Did you have to spend a night in the pokey?
I hope so.
Maybe a couple hours.
Yeah, with Kimmy Gibbler. That'd be awesome.
Kimmy Gibbler.
I actually had somebody trying to argue with me that Kimmy Gibbler was in fact hot.
No.
I don't think so.
I mean,
That's
no.
never.
No.
I mean, that's
Wait,
almost
were they
ridiculous
talking
to saying
about
that DJ was hot?
were they talking about adult Kimmy Gibbler? Because if
Yeah.
they're talking about like
no.
14-year-old Kimmy Gibbler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, don't Kimmy Gibbler.
What do you guys think about Michelle?
She's hot, right?
What
That
year?
little 6-year-old gets me going.
Oh, the best part is there's 2 of them.
But fuck it, I gotta hit to mass.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
Hey, we had current events, didn't we?
Yeah,
That was
but
current. We're all done now.
That was it.
we're all done
Aunt
now.
Becky went to jail
Aunt
and
Becky
got
went to
bailed out.
jail. You know who else went to jail? Felicity Huffman, who's married to William H. Macy, and somehow he didn't go to jail.
I still don't know who that is.
That's what we should do. We should read the police
But you don't know
beat.
who William H. Macy is, or you don't know who Felicity Huffman is?
Felicity Huffman.
Oh,
Everybody knows who William H.
okay. She's an actress
Again?
who acts in on television and
Well, name a
occasionally in
show
film.
or something.
I think she was on Desperate Housewives, but
Oh yeah, she was. That's right.
was she one of the Desperate Housewives, or was
Yes.
she like a side character?
No, she was a desperate housewife.
Okay.
So I think what would get us more views, we get all the local newspapers, we go through like the police beat, and we just read who got arrested.
No.
That sounds like
no,
a David
Tim.
Letterman bet.
Bob in Beaver County.
No, I have a better one. We go to Craigslist, and we read
Read the ads.
we read the rants and raves section.
that would be pretty good.
Have you
too.
ever looked at it?
I've never looked at that section.
But most of it is people just saying like ridiculous racist stuff, and it's all really lazy stuff too. It's never any like
That's not true.
any clever racism. It's just like
where
it's
is the
just
clever
people,
racism,
It'll be people
people?
posting shit like, how come black people say axe instead of ask?
I'm gonna
Jeff.
go axe him.
That's not true. It's not all racist. They
How come
also
they all say
are
library?
anti-women.
The
Problem with women is
you don't see as much anti-women stuff.
seriously.
It's
I
mostly
assume it would
really-
be like a lot of that.
It's mostly racist stuff. Do we need to take a break to look at the rants and raves?
Do we need
No,
to-
no,
let's
no.
go.
Let's save it for another
Let's do it
episode.
live.
Keep doing this.
We're not gonna unload all of our gold material at once.
Oh man, let's see. We should go look at Miss Encounters right now.
I don't think they have that anymore.
They do have it. They
Oh,
don't.
really?
They don't have the sex part anymore. In the
Oh.
They have
personals.
M,
yeah,
M for F.
Oh, so
Yeah.
no more
Bunch-
sex part.
All the dick pics.
yeah. There are a lot.
Well,
of
look at a
dick pics
clock on that one.
That's what we should. Oh man, they had to get rid of that because we could evaluate
Rate
the dick pics. Yeah.
We got it. It's time for a new segment on the Lawrence Watson Show. Rate the cock.
That one looks pretty meaty.
Yeah, but the shaft is all misshapen.
This one is slightly bent.
Now this one's an absolute beauty. I mean, just look at the symmetry.
And the trimmed pubes.
Yeah, look at
that's,
those. Look at those veins.
We could email them, have them come in, and be like, "Hey there, why don't you have a seat?"
All right, now, could you achieve an erection in front of 4 men
With no visual stimulation.
Would you like to
four
come
men
on our
while we
show?
all stare at you?
Yes.
I-
Hey, I know some people that probably could get off on staring at us. We're very handsome and gorgeous people.
Ladies will have sex with us on occasions, so we must not be
That's cool.
totally
Mostly because we
horrible.
engaged in relationships with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Casual encounters, not so much.
I mean, the look of disappointment that I get every time.
it's okay, John. You'll get there. I mean, you've gotten me pretty close once or twice. I was that close to achieving an orgasm with you, John.
Was it after he cooked you that beautiful meal?
Oh, yes.
You really milked my prostate that night.
Oh, and how. Well, he deserved it.
I'm not saying you didn't. But what was in this meal? I know you've described
did
it
he
as a
milk
beautiful
it?
and gorgeous meal.
It
But
was.
What was in this meal that led to the prostate milking?
It was, well, we started with the first course of wine and bruschetta.
What
that's
kind of
always
wine?
classic.
Red, white,
It was Bully Hill.
Beaujolais.
Bully Hill, Love My Goat Red.
Okay.
Because that's pretty much the only red I drink.
Okay.
I love a good red.
You all right over there?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I love a good red. He's just.
Oh, well, are we all done talking about fucking each other?
No.
I wanted to talk about food.
I thought we were talking about cocks. Come on.
Well, we've transitioned from cocks to food. I thought I'd.
We didn't even get to the current event yet.
Oh yeah, the current event was.
Aunt Becky's in the
I thought
slammer.
we already did
That's
that.
not-
We didn't
We're
tell
good.
anybody why yet.
Well, everybody knows
Everybody
why.
knows why.
Everybody
We're
knows
not-
why.
we didn't-
Like college
What do we
stuff.
have the breaking scoop?
No, not the breaking
We have
scoop.
the, we have the exclusive, guys. Aunt Becky went to jail. And now she's out.
But we're not going to discuss the goings on that led to it.
I feel for her because my parents did the same thing to get me into Cal U of Pennsylvania. They really milked that.
They paid tuition.
Lied on your application for you.
Yeah.
But is anybody really surprised? I thought this was
No.
going on anyway.
It's always been going.
It's
on.
always
I know
been
it's been
going on, but
like I didn't know that it was like this huge problem. I actually didn't know that it was illegal.
Well, technically,
I thought for like a private school, because I heard, I understand a state school that would not be okay, but I thought for a private school you could just pay a bunch of money to them and they'd be like, all right, we'll let you in, because they're not governed, they're not getting any money from the state. So why can't they just say, yeah, fine, pay us $500,000 and we'll let your dumb kid in?
well, that wasn't entirely what it was. She got somebody to lie on her daughter's college application, which technically is fraud.
yeah, that's the difference. I don't understand why they couldn't just throw money at
They weren't rich enough.
Oh, so they threw money at fraud instead.
Yeah, those people who like donate libraries, those are the super rich.
Yeah.
Those are like the Bushes, the Kennedys, and what have you.
What if you just donate books to the library? What does that get you?
Thank you. And a pat on the back.
So,
Maybe a blowjob.
so what do you mean she had someone lie on the application?
There are people for the rich who will make out a college application for a student. And
They're called admissions consultants,
Yeah.
and they're expensive.
yeah, they're quite expensive.
So how do,
But-
how do
but-
I
but it-
become an admission?
but it's cheaper
Yeah,
than a
exactly.
library.
We could do this.
How do I get in on this racket?
Oh, I don't think the racket's gonna be around much longer.
Yeah, I think they're going to probably...
we have to come
Listen,
with a new racket.
I'm always too late to the new rackets.
Yeah, this you know...
For $300, I will guarantee that your child gets into California University
That's what it is. I mean...
of Pennsylvania.
That's really what it is. they write up a college resume, make it look real good. In this case, in Aunt Becky's case, she lied about her daughter being on the school rowing team.
Oh yeah, I heard
I don't
about
even think the school had a rowing team. That kind of thing. But like that's what they do. That's what it was. Technically, that's fraud.
Yeah. Wasn't it a weird thing too, where like you could pay to say you were on these sports teams,
I
or
don't
something
know.
like that?
Yeah, that was
I don't
part
know.
of it.
Yeah, it was part
Yeah.
of it.
because they bribed coaches too.
Yeah,
Oh,
to
yeah.
say like,
So
oh
like
yeah,
the Georgetown tennis coach got dinged for this because he lied and said that they're on the team.
yeah.
What if they don't have the sport that they claim that they did in high school? How would I play the role of the coach in case they wanted to call and check up on it?
Oh,
So I could be like the coach, be like, "Oh yeah, she's the one of the best coxswains we've ever seen."
Like they call you and you say, oh, hold on a second. Then you like hit the play button and you have like locker rooms. Sorry, it's really loud in here. I'm in the locker room because I'm the coach.
quit horsing around back there.
you go
Quit stamping your feet.
you go near a river, and the heavily sounds like. Yeah, and then someone yelling like "Whoa, bro," or whatever they do for rowing, and then I blow a whistle.
Couple more, guys. Couple more.
All right, take it back around, guys.
All right, Jeff. We were talking here. Oh yeah, she's on the team.
Yeah. She's definitely on the team. One of our best.
Best coxswain.
Best coxswain.
Good rowing
So-
reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the problem. She wasn't rich enough to donate a library or a building. She was just rich enough to pay somebody to commit fraud.
Well, the best part about it was the daughter didn't even want to go to Stanford.
Fuck the daughter. The daughter doesn't want to do anything except model clothes and all that shit.
I feel
mean,
like-
the first week of school, she was off in Fiji.
I feel like she probably married a doctor, the actress, because like that would be like the best thing. Like if you were a lawyer or a doctor, be like, oh, this is my wife. She used to be on Full House.
I think he may
John
actually be a
Stamos
doctor.
used to fuck her.
What do you think about that, Bob? Huh?
Funny thing is, he just did some Instagram post where he hung out with them.
The cast of Full House.
No, just Aunt Becky and the daughter. John Stamos did.
Oh,
Isn't the daughter like what do they call it? Influencer? Or
Yeah,
whatever. It's
as,
on
as
YouTube.
social media influencer.
I'm one of those.
Which,
too,
how do we
actually.
get in on that racket?
Yeah.
This podcast has attempted to influence many positive things, and I don't know how we get in
We're
on that
basically
racket.
in the same business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take
We
a lot
have to
of
be
pictures.
on the gram.
It's called the look at me business.
I put a lot of pictures on Instagram of me drinking Iron City beer.
The official
Good callback,
beer.
Jeff.
That's
We should start the Lawrence Watson Instagram account.
I have an Instagram. I've never used it.
Okay, well, we make one for this, and
Okay.
we take all the cliche pictures that you do for an Instagram account.
like a selfie in the bathroom,
Except
us
it's
taking
us.
a shit.
No, we'll go down to like the Mill and Braddock, and we'll take one of our yoga poses.
No, here's what I want. I want the four of us,
Yeah.
and we take pictures like we're in a band. So it's all of us,
Oh,
all of
that
us
would be good,
pretending like
too.
we don't know we're getting our picture taken, but it's really obvious that we know
the
we're getting our
side,
picture
yeah.
taken. We're all
The-
just like intentionally looking away from the camera.
John, how soon can you get in touch with Richie?
We can just get Kelsey to use her phone.
Yeah, I guess. I thought we wanted to make
Yeah.
this look professional.
No,
goddammit.
We're gonna put some sepia filters on there.
Yeah.
We're
It'll be
we'll do
all right.
some black and white shots
Yeah.
because we're a band after
Yeah,
all.
we're a band.
Stop by
Well,
the
you know-
Clareton Coke Works.
Funny enough, we kind
Hashtag
of are.
blessed.
We kind of are a band if I ever end up releasing our jam sessions.
No, we're not going to do that.
You know, I promised that.
Only do that when one of us dies.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I know we said that we would only release one of the jam sessions when one of us dies, but episode 16's first attempt, I was thinking at first I might only release this once all four of us die.
Well,
You can't do that.
Sure, I can.
Because you'll be dead.
I'll leave instructions on how to do it.
who's gonna get the instructions?
Oh, Laura or somebody.
Crikey!
This is some shitty guitar playing.
So,
So Aunt Becky went to jail.
yeah.
Aunt Becky went to jail.
What's the second topic? Like.
Oh
what
yeah, the food.
The one
Oh,
that,
the food.
yeah. Go ahead. You can set that up if you want.
Okay, so after the
It's really
wine-
bad radio since it's not.
radio. It's not actually radio. So after the wine, then what?
After the wine, then what? Oh, Lawrence, you're sweet. You sweet fool. I guess you could call that a transition. Let me see what I can do here.
I'm done with that. Fuck it. Just what came after the wine?
I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Tim, you're about to say something though.
Oh, I was saying, speaking of food, though, we should do like a dinner thing again sometimes, John, because that was good.
Okay.
I want to
Maybe
do
this
that.
is something you guys could discuss,
You couldn't
No,
discuss that
that's
off the air.
off the air.
What are you doing April?
Setting up a dinner
man.
date.
I was thinking like around 8.
I'm busy April 5th.
Damn it. Let me.
I just remembered I have to go to the store later.
Oh, I just remembered. I have to have a colonoscopy.
Maybe do some laundry.
I have to wash my hair.
What were we saying about?
Okay, so
about
that
food?
wraps up the food portion of the show.
God damn it! I wanted to know what the hell this meal was.
I think it was just gnocchi.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
portobello mushrooms.
Homemade
and, like,
sauce.
A cashew tomato sauce. Yeah. It was good.
That sounds really good. Call in with your favorite gnocchi recipes.
Hey, this being Pittsburgh, we would get like a ton.
we would get a ton of calls.
Yeah, I do. I take those gnocchis and I saute them in some butter and put tomato sauce on there. I use ragu or something.
Being Pittsburgh too, it wouldn't be like how to make gnocchi. It would be like the Shop and Save brand.
No. This being Pittsburgh, think of all the Italian grandmas that we have in the area.
Yeah, but they're all dying, so it would be like some person that really feels like the One Giant Eagle brand is better, and their recipe would be getting the Giant Eagle brand of gnocchi and then getting like the sauce. Like
I will point out that you did get the Market District gnocchi, which is the fancy Giant Eagle.
I know it was. I mean, it's good. I'm not gonna make my own gnocchi. That's just hard.
That's too hard for me.
I've
I
tried
made the
making
sauce.
I've tried making pasta, and it really sucks.
Yeah,
I tried making ravioli, and it sucked even more.
I feel like it's a long process.
It is. I mean, like you make the dough. You put a bunch of flour on the counter, drop a couple of eggs in the well like you're supposed to do, and then you just make a big mess. and eventually it becomes pasta dough, and then you have to roll it out for like an hour and a half.
Oh God!
Why would anyone do that?
But then I got my mom,
Because you live
bought
in
me
Italy
the,
and you don't have anything to do all day
yeah.
because you live in Italy.
Yeah,
live
they
in
don't
Italy.
have jobs over there.
Yeah.
and they just spend all that time making pasta. But my mother bought me for Christmas a like a hand crank pasta thing, but it still kind of sucks.
Imagine the hard part's just getting the dough to work.
Not really.
Something's going on.
Bitch is upstairs on the phone.
Get the broom handle. Hey, keep it down.
Keep it down up there.
We're on the air down here.
Well, I guess someone's getting beaten tonight.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to go pick up some Band-Aids for my knuckles.
for my knuckles.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Gnocchi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never made gnocchi.
Good segment, guys.
Oh my God.
All right. What's your go-to if you're trying to impress somebody?
Okay. So, like, EDM lounge music
Okay.
when they walk in.
You
Some
and Laura,
Flume.
man.
No, it's great. It really sets the mood. Wine.
She likes that shit.
Yeah, because it's very relaxing.
Blow.
Blow. Well, that's later.
Acid.
Acid. No, I feel like wine, EDM music.
And Rohypnol.
You don't.
No dates complete without it.
What do I usually go to? Like the gnocchi thing works very well. The hummus thing works very well because I can do like the fancy presenting stuff.
Yeah.
Fuck, I fell in love with you for that.
Yeah, you definitely. I could tell you wanted to fuck me.
I did.
That
I was
day.
very hungry for you, Tim.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys destroyed my upstairs bathroom after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? I hate hummus.
Well, you haven't had. Well, actually, you have. Never mind. You have had my hummus.
I don't like hummus.
Man, that's
Some
just
people
sad.
just don't like certain things. I don't like onions.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
But like onions
know.
are in
Just don't like 'em.
everything, though. That sucks.
I just say no onions.
No, I just mean like for a base of cooking, it usually starts with you throw the onions in there with some butter and you saute for 10 minutes.
Let
and
the
then
onions sweat and caramelize.
Yeah, like that's every single
I
recipe.
just skip that step.
that step. Huh.
You're doing it wrong.
Well, not to me because I don't like onions.
There's some certain properties that you get with caramelized onions, man.
Onion hummus. That would be like the
I'm afraid I
worst.
wouldn't eat it.
No, that would have to be tasty.
That would be disgusting, I think.
I want to try it though.
Oreo hummus.
Oreo hummus.
Oh. Yeah, why not? Let's go for it.
With ketchup.
Now we're just
Maybe that could be a segment. Like I'll bring in
our
a
weirdest
different
recipes.
a different kind of hummus every single show.
Oh shit!
Because like you can do beets, you can do carrot, you can do edamame, and then we'll get like crazier and crazier where we get to the Oreo.
has toasted pine nuts.
That's so pedestrian, man.
Pine nuts don't really have much of a flavor.
Yeah, they do. It tastes like pine.
I've never
nuts.
noticed flavor in pine nuts. I've
There's actually a shortage of pine nuts.
really.
I found this out when I went to buy. I was actually
are
going to buy
really
pine nuts
expensive.
because I wanted to make pesto out of all the basil I had in my
Yeah.
garden. And then I wondered why it cost. I think it was like $8 for this little tiny thing.
Yeah,
of
for
pine
like
nuts.
a thing that big, like
So
a couple
I
inches.
I googled why are pine nuts so goddamn expensive, and it turns out there's some kind of shortage because of a.
Did you put
blight or
goddamn
something
in the
like
search
that.
bar?
Probably.
Probably. I figured he did. I
That's
didn't
how
even
you
have a
get
question
more-
in my mind that
That's
Jeff
how you
would do
get
that.
more accurate results.
I fucking hate this goddamn shit. So, anyway, what were we talking about again?
Pine
Oh,
nuts.
Pine nuts.
Pine nuts.
They come from trees.
Yes.
Stay with us, Lawrence. I know these are very heady conversations.
Yeah. These are very important topics here we've got. So,
I can't believe we have 45 minutes already.
well, keep in mind about 10 minutes of that is us
Yeah,
just
really.
screwing around.
Well, I think 10 minutes of that is usable, maybe.
Could be. We'll
But
find
then
out.
again, I thought like the lost episode we did last week was great. It all seemed like we were having a blast. but-
Okay, the problem is when somebody who didn't go to Ringgold listens to it, They're not going to know who the fuck we're talking about because we don't use any names. And as I was listening to it, I was becoming confused as to who we were talking about.
Now, here's what we do. We go to the Ringle Facebook page.
Uh-huh.
We release that episode. We just posted up there. Boom. Problem solved.
That's what we should do with the first half. Put it on the what was the page
The
called?
reunion class of
Mon
whatever.
Valley, what's going on?
Mon Valley.
Where everybody argues.
Yeah.
They argue and
Or
lose,
wait, that
and
was
lose
already.
pets.
It was a faction of people split off from a different Mon Valley page because apparently they got pissed off about something, so they made their own page that was called the Mon Valley What's Going On page.
That's what we should do. We should be posting these up there.
Because that's how goddamn ridiculous these people are. These idiots that take
in the Mon
Facebook
Valley.
seriously. That they can't talk on the one page. They have to make their own new page to talk about things going on in the community.
What the hell?
Mon Valley.
I wonder what could piss somebody off to the point where they have to break off in faction.
I don't know. It was explained to me, and I didn't give a shit. So I forgot.
It was probably something to do with Trump.
No, it's never to do
No.
with Trump. It has to do. It's usually the schools. That's the big one.
It
The
was the
election of
schools.
the local constable
See, I'm
that
not
really
on
heat
that
it.
group. I've never joined any of those groups. I don't interact
I
with
have a feeling it
people of the Mon
probably
Valley at all.
it probably had to do with the recent teacher strike.
No, I can see that.
And I can see people getting pissed off and factioning over that.
Why a kid should be in school? I can't deal
Not
with these little
learning
bastards
anything.
all day.
The teachers shouldn't strike. It's on behalf of the children. They should think about the children.
If you think of high school, at the high school you went to, how long do you think, as an adult, if you didn't know whatever you learned in high school, it would take you to learn everything you learned in high school?
I could go on Wikipedia and in one day learn everything.
I feel like my 4 years of high school could have been condensed into a 2-month course, and I would have got the same.
Because a lot of the day, I would say virtually 80% of the classes are just screwing around.
Yeah.
And then you have
there's a
study
lot.
halls, which are just stuff to fill time. And
It was a lot of here's a worksheet.
yeah.
Look through this book, find the word in the question, and then write down the sentence from the book into the space.
This is why no one learns anything anymore.
Yeah. Well, I would say that's why our generation, where we're from, didn't learn anything. It wasn't actually learning.
Well, it's probably
yeah.
it's going to be getting worse, and here's why.
I left the education game.
Well,
that's
from what
why.
I understand, so when we were in high school, some of us had cell phones, but they were just flip phones and shit.
Yeah,
they
they
didn't do
sucked.
anything.
I had a
but
track phone
they didn't. But my point is, they didn't do anything except for make calls and do text messages
and play Snake.
And it took you 30 minutes to send a text message,
Yeah,
and no
exactly.
one used it.
because there was no keypad. It was just
Yeah.
numbers. Anyway, apparently now, with smartphones and stuff, there isn't a. You would think that this would be the kind of thing that would just be banned.
Yeah.
Not you can't bring them into the school, but you can't have them out in class. And apparently, the kids just sit there in class
On their
on their
smartphones.
on their phones.
Yeah.
So they're not paying attention.
They were banned at the school I taught at, and
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I mean,
They were banned at Ringgold. Well, not banned, but you weren't allowed to
off
have
and,
them out.
off and away.
Yeah,
But
you
who
had to
the
have it
hell
off.
even had one when we were in high school?
By the time we were seniors, we didn't have a smartphone, but we had.
Right, that's what I mean. I'm talking about the smartphone.
Well, here's
the
what I
phone
can-
that can do that can entertain you.
that must be weird.
Here's what
indefinitely.
Here's what I can tell you. I substitute taught in 2010 and 2011, and I would say 90% of the classrooms that I entered, the kids didn't have their phones out. And if they did, I go, put it away. But
Well, that's
Mr. So-and-so, put it away. Put it away.
I'm just talking about some anecdotes from teachers that I've read on the internet where they complain that the kids have their heads buried in the
smartphones
phone
out.
the whole time, and it's like, well, you're the teacher.
Just tell them
tell
to
them
put
to
it
put it
away.
What do they expect me to do?
I have
manage
authority
my
over these
classroom?
children.
What do I do? The kids, they're on the cell phones. They don't listen. Well, tell them to put it away. I can't. The parents will yell at me.
That's actually true. That some people said
is
that,
true, yeah.
oh, my little Johnny needs his phone. What if we need to call him? Call the school. How about that?
I do
Call
kind
the
of
school.
I do kind of wonder about that. If I ever had a kid, I don't know if I'd see the value of them going to high school.
Jesus.
I made it quick to try to not interrupt you. Keep going.
It was classy. But I don't know. Is there really any value to like after an elementary school education? Is there value in it?
Probably.
I would
probably
say so.
because in middle school you.
I would say yeah, but only if.
Do you think you were that smart
Public
when you were
school.
14 years old?
No, but I don't feel like
could
I
just be
became. I don't feel like I became any smarter by going to high school and probably middle school.
Well, it depends on whether or not you had a teacher that gave a shit.
Yeah, I mean there was
That's
definitely
the-
some worthwhile, like experiences in there, but
and then
like
you
for the
have a
most
Mr.
part,
Rana.
yeah.
Well, it depends on, and this is my view of it, and as a former educator, I guess, I do have thoughts on the subject, but I think the value is actually learning how to think and learning how to put your thoughts together because, you know...
Right, but I would say I didn't really learn to do that till college anyways.
Right, that's the other
Which
thing.
they should fix that,
High schools
obviously.
don't emphasize, critical writing
Yeah.
enough. It's just, all they're doing is teaching to the test, and the test determines funding.
I would say if I lived in like Monongahela and like I didn't have a ton of money to send my kids to private school, I don't know if I would necessarily see the point of sending my kid to the public school that's there.
Ringgold?
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? Nothing?
Are you gonna like cyber school or?
Cyber school or just be like listening to NPR for an hour a day. Like I feel like you'll be fine. You'll figure it out. Read some books. Let's go to the library. You can just pick up books and read. That will work.
And read like Harry Potter or some shit.
Yeah, hopefully my kids don't suck and like Harry Potter.
You know what? As long as they're not reading anything by Ayn Rand, I think that's a victory.
Tim, are you gonna have if you have kids? Are you gonna do the unschooling?
Yeah, I'm going to unschool.
Unschool.
What the hell is unschooling?
Unschooling is where you you pretend that you're giving them a better education than public
By not
school
doing
by
anything.
not doing shit.
Where'd you find this?
It was actually an episode of Wipe Swap that probably
Yeah.
was like 10 years ago, and it's not just isolated to this one specific family. This is an actual thing that people have. You could look it up, Wikipedia
I was
or something.
so disappointed in
But it was
Wife
shit
Swap.
like she would take them to the like amusement park to learn about physics, but there was
What the fuck does she know about physics?
nothing. And that's the thing. They weren't. She wasn't teaching them about any kind of principles. She was just like, okay, the roller coaster goes downhill because of gravity.
No shit.
That was
What else you got?
like, oh, and these are G forces you're feeling. That's it. They were learning that physics exists, basically.
You know, one of the families that appeared on Wife Swap. One of them was that balloon kid.
Yeah, the balloon boy was on
Yeah.
there. They had that family. That
Was it before or
that
after?
liar?
It was before.
Before.
It was before.
Because, okay, speaking of the balloon kid, you know who went on TV as much as he possibly could after the balloon kid got found out?
Wait.
Scary Perry Carvalho
Yes.
Really?
of fame of Windy City Heat.
Wait a minute. What is the connection between the balloon boy and Scary Perry?
I guess he lived in the same
Hold on,
neighborhood.
hold on,
the
guys.
Scare Master.
Who is the balloon kid? I vaguely
Okay.
remember this.
About what, 10 years ago or
Something
so?
like that.
More than that, but
More than that, yeah, but it was about a decade ago. This little kid got it. They said he got into a weather balloon that the dad had that he liked to tinker around with.
Oh,
and
wasn't
he
it all
was
fake?
launched up and yeah, it was fake. And the weather balloon they were tracking it on the news,
Yeah.
and the dad went on the TV. Oh my God, our son, we can't find him. We were on Wife Swap, and He did that. He was like, we were on Wife Swap, and ever since then,
Yep.
he's had trouble. So anyway, they went on Good Morning America and all this shit. And the whole time as they're talking to these motherfuckers, I told him not to go in, not to fool around with my weather balloons. And they're tracking the weather balloon, and and it finally lands, and they get it. Oh, he's not in there. Well, what a surprise! There's nobody there.
turns out he hid in his treehouse.
Yeah, he hid in his attic or his treehouse.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Something like that. And we found him! Oh joy! And like 2 days later, oh well, there's charges going against the family for fraud and the wasting police resources and all that good stuff.
So it's not like he ran away. It's like
no,
his
he-
parents told him.
This was the
Yeah,
father
his-
saying hide.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
parents put him in the. I think it was like the loft of a barn they had on their property.
Yeah,
or
something like that.
Or the attic, I forget. But I was on, I go on Reddit sometimes, and I saw someone who posted this comment. He said something about the balloon boy and how when he found out it was a hoax, it like changed his life and like disillusioned him, and it was this big deal for him because he was so invested in the balloon boy thing.
God.
And I asked him what was this all about? Why were you so devastated when you found out that the balloon boy was a hoax? And he explained it to me. He sent me this couple paragraph response. And because he said something about it destroyed relationships.
It destroyed relationships.
He's like,
Destroyed relationships.
So I remember watching the Balloon Boy and following with my family, and it still didn't make any sense to me.
I felt the same way. Like I watched Leaving Neverland and seeing like these huge crowds of people that were like so adamantly crazy with Michael Jackson. It's just like, why do you even care that much? I get that you like his music.
He made Thriller.
Yeah, but why would you stand outside a place for 4 hours to see him walk by?
Because he made Thriller.
Have you ever seen Michael Jackson?
Actually, I haven't. It's
No, you haven't.
no.
No.
So are we still allowed to listen to Michael Jackson?
Carly says no.
Carly says no.
I think he
That's true. She
probably
wouldn't play any Michael
sexually
Jackson last
abused
night. It was annoying
people.
me.
Yeah.
But she played DMX. So what he did was somehow better.
You shouldn't listen to DMX because I saw this action movie with him where he took his belt off, wrapped it around a shotgun, threw the shotgun up in the air, yanked the belt, and then like shot people with it. So
Nice.
just for that very reason, you shouldn't listen to DMX.
Why did he do that? Why didn't he just pull the trigger? Seems a lot easier.
Because he was hiding, and so he threw it over his hiding place and then yanked it down to shoot the bad people.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's a good idea.
I want to see this movie now.
Actually, that would be pretty funny. I forget what it's called.
Okay.
Just type in
I will look
DMX
it up.
action movie. Yeah.
Didn't answer my question though. Are we still allowed to listen to Michael Jackson, assuming that he did it?
I don't know, man. You can do whatever you want. I don't like Michael Jackson anyway, so like it's
so
not
the
going to be an
answer is
issue
easy
for
for
me.
you.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, I got a question.
Do you like any music that's remotely popular, Tim?
No, I'm.
He doesn't
you don't
like the Beatles.
You don't like the Beatles. You don't
He doesn't like Michael
Jackson.
Jackson.
What are you, some sort of hipster?
Slightly.
Okay, I have a question related to Michael Jackson. That Simpsons episode, they've taken it out of rotation. They're never going to play it
that's
again.
kind of
Is
silly.
that not dumb?
That's a little silly because when you think about the whole like how many people are involved in one episode, I feel like that's dumb.
Yeah, none of those people will make any residuals now off of that one episode anymore. Not that.
Well, the Simpsons have like 900 episodes.
Yeah, I know.
So I don't think it's a huge.
And those
problem.
good ones haven't been in the rotation for years anyway.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
they're
they're
not.
all on that FX channel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Never mind. I forgot about syndication.
Yeah. But like that's what I was really just like what I was wondering. He's been dead for a decade. Is taking one short, I might add, guest spot in The Simpsons, taking that whole episode out of rotation, is that going to make anything better for
Well,
anybody?
plus, too, like who's benefiting from it? His family. His family didn't like.
Yeah,
molest
They don't
him.
make
Jermaine didn't.
anything.
Yeah, Jermaine didn't rape
so,
anybody.
Like, yeah.
What about Marlon's residuals?
Yeah, that's who you're screwing over is the family.
Yeah, you're screwing over Tito.
Screwing over Michael Jackson, you can't because he's dead.
They'll be slightly less rich.
Just slightly.
Yeah, what about
Yeah.
Marlon?
He needs the money.
He didn't have any talent. He needs the money. Give Marlon his residuals.
Give Marlon his residuals.
Hashtag
We're
Marlon's
gonna start a
residuals.
movement.
Hashtag Marlon
It's
needs his residuals.
It's okay
Yeah.
to listen to Michael Jackson so Marlon can get his residuals.
Give Joe Jackson his residual.
He's dead too. Everybody knew what he did. Beating his kids. Well, that reminds me. You gotta tell the story of, was it your roommate whose neighbor used to play the Jacksons?
Yeah, it was my neighbor. He said when he was a kid, he would go to his neighbor's house, and they would play the Jacksons. And so, I think there was like one neighborhood girl that was kind of chubby, so he would make her ride an exercise bike.
Wait, what?
She was
and
Janet.
I think the rest of it was like the older boy would just pretend he was Joe Jackson and just beat up the younger kids. And that was
wholesome family fun.
And that was them playing the Jacksons. And I think the reason they were doing this was because it was around the time that the Jacksons, An American Dream, was airing on VH1. It was a made-for-TV, like a mini-series, I
And
think.
it was a happening.
Yeah.
That was whenever Freddie Boom Boom Washington was portraying Joe Jackson.
Right.
And the guy who looked just like Michael Jackson was Michael Jackson. I can't remember what his name was.
That guy who looked like my.
The resemblance was uncanny.
Oh, baby, give me one more chance.
Yeah.
Show me what word. Okay.
Oh, okay, this is falling off the cliff.
It already fell off. We're in the
Yeah,
bottom.
yeah, I
We're
know.
in,
We're
we're in
just
the we're in the
screwing
Colorado River right now.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So when we doing karaoke again?
Okay, and on that
Never.
note, I think it's a good time for us to take a short break.
Good, because I have to wee.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kind of do too.
So.
And I'm out of beer.
Yeah, we'll be right
Ice
back.
cold Iron City beer.
Yes, we'll be right back after this.
Show them how you got them, Ray.
Hey folks, if you're anything like me, you hate spending your hard-earned money on illegal immigrant labor. And it's not just the fact that rates have risen to nearly half the federal minimum wage. You also have the language barrier, cultural differences, and the radios that pick up stations you didn't even know existed. The last time I hired a crew of migrant workers at my farm, they expected me to cart the harvest away on a day that was just too hot to have my horses walking around. But since then, I've discovered Tramps.com. Tramps.com is your connection to the original migrant worker, the classic American nomad who will mend your fence and paint your barn for 2 bits and some victuals. And with the Tramps.com mobile app, you can have one sent right to your door, and even get a discount if you live near railroad tracks. Guys, just last week, I needed someone to fix up my chicken coop to keep the foxes out. So I pulled up the Tramps.com app, and almost as soon as I heard the train whistle, there he was. He stood in my front yard with his baggy, patched-up trousers, tattered hat in hand, bindle over his shoulder, mangy dog by his side, and he asked if he could do some odd jobs in exchange for a bite. He got right to work on my chicken coop, and let me tell you, he did such a great job, I gave him a can of beans and a sawbuck and let him spend the night in my shed. That night, I laid in bed and enjoyed the soothing sounds from out back of a crackling fire, a harmonica, and a howling dog. In the morning, my tramp was gone and back to riding the rails from town to town, as is the way of the wandering vagrant. But you can bet I'll be using Tramps.com again. And the next tramp I get will know they'll be treated well, thanks to the review the last one left in the form of symbols carved into my mailbox post. That's Tramps.com, enter promo code Lawrence, and your next tramp will bring a banjo for no extra charge.
And we're back.
We're back on the Lawrence Watson podcast. My bass is not turned all the way up. This is my natural voice. John's bass is turned all the way up. Because he's not a man like
He's
me.
insecure.
He needs assistance.
Let's see how it does up there without all the assistance.
John has low T.
John has no teeth.
Hey, folks, are you tired of low bass levels?
And
Are
we're
you
back.
tired of the tenor in your voice?
I'm just trying to go for more of an NPR feel.
Bass.com.
Are you giving away our next?
Yeah, that could be one. Yeah. I have to get in contact with the Bass.com
Yes.
people and see if they're
We'll see.
willing. Yeah.
What you need is 4 testicles like me.
Not to be confused with the Bass.com.
Yes, the mobile
That's all
fish
about
delivery
fishing.
service.
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a show?
Yeah.
Might.
So, I was watching King of the Hill the other day. No, Timmy, you had a thing,
Okay, so
a
like
musical thing, if you
a
will.
musical thing that I think might work for the show.
Okay.
So like I think this would be a good like Facebook post, but I don't really do Facebook posts.
You
Yeah.
should put a Facebook post and have all the words and one of those, you know how there's that like big colorful background that people post?
Yeah.
And it'll be like, my baby isn't breathing, what do I do? And it'll have smiley face emojis behind it.
Or the prayer emoji. My baby's not breathing. Prayer emoji.
Well, you're gonna need a NATO bag valve mask. You're probably gonna want to go high flow oxygen at 15 liters. You want to every 3 seconds push down on that, but not too hard since neonates' young lungs are very fragile.
Wow, that's really good advice, Tim.
Yeah.
How would you know that?
I don't know, man. So I think this one would be more like hashtag summer goals.
Okay.
Okay.
So, like, let me set the scene for you.
All right.
It's a blistering.
already-
Iron City, man.
Too much Iron City.
Yeah.
There's no such
There's
thing
no
as too
such-
much ice cold Iron City beer.
Drink responsibly.
Proudly brewed in Latrobe, Pennsylvania.
So it's a blistering summer day. You see the heat rising off the
You
asphalt.
can see the humidity.
Yeah, the humidity.
Because this is like Los Angeles, right?
No, this is still Pittsburgh.
Okay.
It's
You
still
can still see
it's a
humidity in
Pittsburgh show.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Give us a neighborhood like McKeesport.
God.
Rougher section. I'm thinking like maybe Wilkinsburg, maybe McKeesport, maybe Braddock. It's me outside corner convenience store, leaning against the latest and best ambulance from blank. You, the listener, gets to decide. So I have sunglasses.
Hold on a
Wait,
second.
you're looking for a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm thinking the latest, greatest
Okay.
ambulance from whatever manufacturer.
Yeah,
Obviously the Ford.
From GMC.
obviously the Fiat ambulance.
I would never trust a Fiat ambulance.
Okay, the AMC ambulance.
That sounds like that sounds like an actual
why not
AMC model.
AMC or DeSoto. We're talking defunct car companies.
Yeah,
So
the Crosley ambulance.
The Hupmobile.
So you have to picture me, blistering heat, like sweat running down my brow. I have sunglasses, a mustache. I'm smoking a cigarette. Yeah, maybe I wipe the sweat off, and like you can see it like as I do that flick thing.
You could ruin the whole scene by smoking a Virginia Slim.
Or a cool.
Well, that could be the other blank. What kind of cigarette am I smoking? I'm thinking menthols,
I'm thinking Camel Unfiltered.
unfiltered. Marlboro Reds were my go-to.
Marlboro
Lucky
Red,
Strike.
yeah, Marlboro
Marlboro
Red
Reds,
tends to be
yeah.
that's the classic American cigarette.
Come on, man.
That
Lucky
is a
Strike.
good one.
Marlboro Reds and an ice cold Iron City beer.
So like, a song's playing, and that's where you guys come in. We're also going to pick a song.
Okay.
It's like the opening of the song. As that's happening, my partner walks out of the convenience store. He has the aviators. He has a giant fro and the most epic sideburns you have ever seen.
So he's Samuel L. Jackson in Pulp Fiction?
I don't know if I was going Samuel L. Jackson.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Ooh. Oh, that's what I
Fishburne
was
could
thinking.
work.
No, that's not Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. Okay, Lawrence Fishburne would be good.
Yeah. That
But
might
dressed
work.
as Cowboy Curtis on PB's Playhouse.
I was picturing like a 1980s version
Or maybe
of
a
like
Ving Rhames.
of even though it's like Art Garfunkel before he lost his hair. That's the kind of fro you're
Okay.
talking about.
Well, it could go either way. It's not necessarily like... Yeah,
You could go the Bob Ross route.
Yeah, it could be a Bob Ross sort of deal. But anyways, he pulls down his aviators and he goes, "We got one on Luther and 3rd, overdose." I throw my cigarette down, put it out with my wingtips, and I say, "Fuck. It's going to be one of those summers." So
Oh, you guys beat me to it. I was going to
We all had the same thought.
So the question is, what's the year and what's the song?
Okay.
The year is 1989. The song, Boys of Summer.
We had to provide the music ourselves.
Yeah,
That would
because
be
we
terrible, Tim. You're doing Peter Frampton?
No, I was doing the guitar intro.
Oh, I thought you were doing like.
it did sound like Peter Frampton.
That'd be awful. It wouldn't work at all. It's gonna be one of those summers where I go and see my baby girl.
Ooh, baby, I love you. I
gotta get back
Every
home
day.
to my lady.
I want to be with you tonight. No.
See, Jeff, you texted that to me, and at first
Yes.
I thought it was kind of a joke, like Boys
I
of
wasn't
Summer.
joking.
But it does
He was
sound
very
weird.
serious about that.
Yeah, it does
We
work.
were all socializing at the time, and we did
Yeah.
put the question to the crowd, and no one else had any ideas.
But it
They
also
don't
helped
believe
that-
in setting the scene like we do.
It also helped that the line was, it's going to be one of those summers, so I immediately went to Boys of Summer. Right.
So, Lawrence, what was your suggestion? You had a good one, and I agreed with you. I wrote this down before Oh, this was actually John's.
It was
though.
actually John's. I was about to
texted
say.
it. Yeah.
I was waiting.
You would have thrown that one right in the toilet if you knew it was from me.
Yeah, I'd be like, fuck
I
that.
wanted to set it up so perfectly. You had a great suggestion. Well, actually, it was John's. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was Gimme Shelter.
Give me shelter by the stone.
Yeah.
Just shout away.
But now I kind of like the Who song.
No, Gimme Shelter is basically every Martin Scorsese
Yeah.
movie. And we also have CSI Miami with David Caruso.
Yeah.
So I think those are both out for being derivative, even though it's a nice setup.
Yeah.
Mine was the year was 1977, even though this song came out in '75. Ted Nugent, Stranglehold.
Yeah.
I got a good one. Okay, Tim, do the line.
Fuck, it's gonna be one of those summers.
I've got a brand new pair of roller skates. You've got a brand new.
I think Time of the Seasons by the Zombies.
That's awesome.
Also worked.
But that's also another one that's been used
But it's
in
in
movies all
everything,
the
too.
time.
Yeah, but it's always been used in the context
be-
of Vietnam.
Yeah, but it would be another one that's it's been done. It's been done. We need original songs.
Time
Of the season.
Yeah, that's Forrest Gump. Probably.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Well,
Forrest
here's
Gump.
the thing. You don't know. I just got back from Nam in this scenario. I was a combat medic, and I'm adjusting to life.
On the outside, I guess.
Well,
Yeah.
see, part of me was thinking maybe
And
we
that's-
could go. Maybe you could go 80s and do like Enter Sandman by Metallica.
That was early '90s, I think.
Yeah, that's 90s.
But Tim, I think that's why you're so nonchalant when you're like, it's gonna be one of those summers, because you were in Nam, man. You were in
I
the
saw
shit.
some shit,
you,
man.
you saw like guys, your
some
friends getting their heads blown off. A guy overdosing, that's nothing to you.
So going along
Guy
that
overdosing. Cocaine by Eric Clapton.
She don't mind, she don't lie, she don't lie.
It's a little too overt, isn't it?
Cocaine.
Cocaine.
Great song.
I mean, if we're going to do Nam, though,
No. It doesn't have the urgency, you know.
on the Nam theme though, Along the Watchtower by Jimmy.
Yeah, that is a
Hendrix.
very Nam
Yeah,
theme.
that's a Nam one.
But that's been done to death as well.
I mean, they've all been like it almost has to be one of the songs that's been done to death. Like that's kind of what makes
Fortunate
it
Son
fun.
by Creedence Clearwater Revival. That's
Yeah,
another
it
Nam
doesn't
one.
quite
But it doesn't
work.
That's
fit
a
the
Nam one. It
scenario.
doesn't fit the scenario.
Yeah. Now here was mine that I thought was good. Blue Oyster Cult, Don't Fear the Reaper, because you have the ambulance thing.
So it's like
It's more the 70s, yeah.
But I feel like everybody who hears that now
Dun-dun-dun-dun,
will just see
dun-dun-dun.
Christopher Walken going, I gotta have more cowbell.
yeah.
That's the one issue with that song now, is that's just all anybody thinks about whenever they hear that song.
all I think about when I hear that song is Jimmy Fallon ruining that sketch.
Oh yeah, he ruined that sketch.
That was his thing. He ruined every
No,
sketch.
but everybody's like, but the thing is that was a funny sketch. You know,
Yeah, it was funny.
It was.
That
It
was
it
a
was
Jimmy
very funny.
Fallon. That was
And then you have Will
Horatio
Ferrell.
Sanz.
No, Jimmy Fallon was the one who ruined it.
Horatio Sands was in it,
he
but
was
he
in it,
didn't
too.
ruin it.
Usually he laughs a lot.
But it's like
Yeah.
so they have Will Ferrell who can, he can keep a straight face,
Yeah.
and he was being funny because he was the cowbell guy.
Yep.
And then you have Jimmy Fallon. As soon as it's his moment, he's like, and it
He
just,
did that
it
at
just ruins
Everything.
Well, right,
So that's
but-
why. I think that's part of the reason why they stuck him on the Weekend Update desk, so that he would stop ruining the fucking sketches.
Well, yeah, but it's like the cast members did to him what the Carol Burnett show people did to Harvey Korman, because they knew that he would bust up. So you do it one way in dress rehearsal, and then you do it a different way whenever you're live, and then it's just like motivational speaker Matt Foley. Chris Farley did it one way in dress rehearsal, and then whenever they were actually live,
We're gonna be buddies. We're gonna be pals.
and you see that like everyone has to like hide their faces because they couldn't hold it together.
Except Phil Hartman, who was a real pro.
Well,
Phil
God damn it,
Hartman
he
is
was
a
a pro.
oh man.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Phil.
Oh, indeed.
So, but yeah, but the thing about the difference between Harvey Korman and Jimmy Fallon is Harvey Korman had talent.
I thought Jimmy Fallon's talented.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon wasn't untalented. He just didn't belong on live television doing sketch comedy.
So,
if he was just going to laugh at everything.
So his job now is the Tonight Show host. He's
Yeah,
allowed
he
to
can-
laugh
he
and
can
look
laugh
at the camera.
all he wants,
yeah,
and it's fine.
yeah.
Actually, it helps him in that regard, because when you have comedians on, They want you laughing at their
Yeah.
terrible shit sometimes.
Terrible shit.
Hey, some of them are great. Some of them are terrible. I've seen terrible comedians on the Tonight Show.
No,
I saw a guy on Letterman. This is a long time ago, over 10 years ago, when I used to watch The Late Show.
Was it Bill Hicks?
No. It was some no-name guy. No, and he starts doing some airport material, real hack shit.
Oh, of course.
But then he starts to stumble when he's trying to describe the X-ray machines. He's like, and it's like, okay, so yeah, I put my bag through the machine that and he throws the mic down. He goes, fuck, and he just walks off stage. And I know John's looking at me right now, and I think the reason is because John's going to tell me that it was fake.
Staged.
It was
sounds
staged.
They've been known to do that from time to time.
And it seemed too real to me. Like it seemed like the
guy's a pro.
And they just left it in. Because it is live to tape, the Dave Letterman show.
Yeah. Well, how much scrambling did they do afterwards? That's the thing.
That's a good point. There was no scrambling.
If there was no scrambling, then there's your answer right there.
Well, I like my version of it, where the guy just screwed up so bad that he pissed off and threw the mic down.
Well. Here's the thing: is scrambling. You brought up the scrambling. When Andy Kaufman threw coffee on Jerry Lawler and they ended the segment, that was completely scripted, completely planned, and yet there was scrambling because nobody smartened Dave up.
Well, yeah, no, the only two people who were in on it were Kaufman and Lawler.
Yeah.
And so Dave,
So of course he's
the
going
pro
to
that
scramble.
he was. And I'm sorry to use those words, but you're a fucking asshole. You're a fucking asshole. I will sue you. I will sue all of you. You're a fucking asshole. I'm sorry to use those words.
Yeah.
And Dave just
Kaufman was great.
I think you can use some of those words.
Kaufman was great. He really was.
Late Night with David Letterman.
It was, yeah.
That was like 1984.
The 12,
82.
the 12:30
82.
show. Yeah, 82 was when it started. I think that was the
Because
first
Kaufman
year.
died in 84.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway,
there was scrambling, even though it was a planned thing. But that was, of course, they didn't smarten Dave up. So,
well, yeah, because you want the real reaction.
well, yeah,
If you're gonna do guerrilla style comedy,
I did see Richard Simmons scrambling
oh yeah,
on his last. I think that was his last appearance on the Late Show with David Letterman. He used to go on all the time.
Yeah.
And then there was a break where David Letterman pissed him off.
But
and
David
didn't come
like
on for a
sprayed
while.
him
with
the
like
whole
a
time.
fire extinguisher.
he sprayed Richard Simmons with a fire
So
extinguisher.
that was what led to him not going on the show for a long time.
Yeah.
And then he finally comes back, and I don't know if he was
Wait,
probably on
I'm
there a
gonna-
few times.
I'm
but-
going to interrupt you real quick
Okay.
because the fire extinguisher thing was Dave was, Richard Simmons came out in like a big turkey costume and was trying to,
Yeah.
and he was all greased up.
Of course.
And he was trying to hug Letterman, and Letterman wasn't having it, so he was shouting obscenities and hit him with a fire extinguisher. And the best part about that was he would play that clip for like a month after that.
Oh yeah, you play that all the time.
But go ahead, the one that you were describing.
Yeah, so Richard Simmons goes on. He wants to demonstrate his new product. I don't remember what it was called. It was a steamer.
It was a special steamer, and that was the other thing. Dave is completely undermined. So this, I saw something like this at Home Depot
yeah.
for about $50, and what are you charging? $300?
Right, so Richard Simmons is already pissed off about that. But then when he actually demonstrates how his steamer works, so it's like it was like a 3-part thing. He's like, okay, and we have some broccoli here, and then here we have some cauliflower, and he has these different things. And then he turns the steamer on. And shortly after he turns it on, it starts smoking. And you see this look on Richard Simmons' face like,
okay, I see,
like
I
it's a
get
joke.
it.
And then the thing catches on fire.
There's a loud poof.
And then Richard Simmons goes, ow! And he's
And he-
freaking out and he
ran
runs
away.
away. And that was the last time he went on The Late Show with David Letterman. He was done after that.
And now he's
He's a recluse.
yeah, he's a prisoner or a captive.
He's not captive. That's all bullshit.
Maybe he just enjoys solitude.
That's what it
Maybe.
is. That's what it is. He's tired of sweating to the oldies.
You can never get tired of sweating to the oldies.
Look, I sweat to the oldies just laying in bed.
Can we actually discuss sweating to the oldies as a concept, because I think it's actually admirable. Because
Well,
Richard Simmons made that video because he said the music on every workout video was terrible.
Well, it wasn't just that. Okay, there's two things at play here. It wasn't just the music. There's also the women on the workout videos before that. Fit chicks going like 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, and then the music like. Right. So he plays this music that people have actually heard before, and has all these fat ladies because it's fat ladies who are doing
and fat guys.
Yeah, it's
He had some fat guys too.
Yeah, so you had
and some
fat
regular ladies and some regular looking guys, but people that would actually be buying this product.
Think Al Bundy shoe store customers.
Positivity, yeah.
Well, and the other thing that was kind of advanced about this idea was the music was live. So it was done in like an auditorium, like a dance hall. And so the band was behind all the, and you see them like, right? It starts going boom, boom. And so all the musicians are there.
Buffalo Bills in the background jacking off.
Was she a great big fat girl?
That's my favorite line of that whole movie.
Was she
a big fat girl? I love that line.
Would ya?
Yeah, just do the rest of the show, Buffalo Bill.
Just do the rest.
I was thinking of doing bringing it back to karaoke.
Wait, I want to do.
Could any of us do a Wild Horses?
I want to do a more visual Buffalo Bill impersonation.
Not Wild Horses. Goodbye Horses.
Goodbye Horses. Yeah. Put that on. I'm going to take my pants off and tuck my dick between my legs.
Well, that would be the performance I would be doing. Like the song would come on.
Girl.
Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me. At level 21 too in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania. Wearing what Buffalo Bill was wearing.
Nothing.
Oh yeah. You got to
The skin of your victims.
So you
Come out of the bathroom.
So Tim's gonna sing "Goodbye Horses."
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go into the bathroom just before he starts, so I can take my clothes off and get a good tuck going.
Get the tuck.
Now, do you end the performance by turning around and bending over and giving everybody the full fruit bowl?
No, that's not Buffalo Bill. Buffalo Bill didn't want to have
Classy,
the genitals.
no.
You know.
He wanted to be a woman.
No, he
Right.
he was upset that he didn't want to be a woman, but he wanted to be a woman, something like that.
No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to murder a great big fat person in the women's bathroom, and then come out wearing her skin.
Do you want to fuck me?
I'd fuck me.
I need some help getting this canoe in my truck.
Oh, that's another great scene.
Actually, my favorite Buffalo.
Thank you for helping me.
Let me go, mister!
My parents got money.
There was actually a musical. Did you know that some guys made a musical of Silence of the Lambs musical, where they had a song that was like, "It puts the lotion in the fucking basket. It does this when it
It does when it is told.
or else it gets the hose again."
That's the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, then it was like, "Stop it, mister! It's not funny. Let me go. My mom's got money."
Did she do the Pittsburgh accent like that too?
I think that was me.
No.
But she was, I think it was a West Virginia.
Yeah, especially West Virginia
Yeah, she was
accent.
supposed to be the daughter of a West Virginia senator.
Yeah.
They do have a little bit of a Pittsburgh thing going on.
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
It all runs together, right?
Indeed.
Well, you know who else was in that movie? Betty Aberlin and Neighbor Aber.
From Mr. Rogers'
That's
Neighborhood.
right. That's right.
They were both in that movie.
They were both in that. Neighbor Aber was around the beginning.
Yes.
I don't recall seeing Betty Aberlin though.
She was. Wasn't she one of the ones who worked at?
Yeah, she was one of the Academy people.
Yeah.
As was Neighbor Aber. And I also want to point out that that parts of it were filmed like 2 miles from here.
Oh yeah, where the Western Center used to
the
be.
old Western Center was a psychiatric hospital,
It was more of like
very close to here. It's
more of
gone
an
now.
asylum now. Well, it was more of an asylum in those days.
Okay, an asylum, yeah, and it's gone now. But that's actually where the cell where multiple MIGs and, of course, Hannibal Lecter were housed. It was very close to here. Yeah,
Huh.
It was a real mental hospital.
But let's talk about like the most famous movie that was filmed in Southwest PA, The Mothman Prophecies.
Oh, that's right. You have a story related to this.
I think I already told it though.
I don't think you
You
ever
didn't
told
tell
it.
it on the podcast.
You never told it on the
Tell
air.
it on the
Okay.
podcast.
Go.
All right, wait, no, hold on. I want to set this up a little bit.
Okay.
Because they were the trailers, like all the crew, and they were all staying in the Ringgold High School parking lot where we all went to high school.
So Richard Gere's trailer was in our high school parking lot.
Right? Yeah. There you go. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like I was on the wrestling team at the time. Yeah. I only did it for 1 year and it's so I didn't have to ride a bus.
Oh, Tim, I have a follow-up story to your Richard Gere
okay.
pizza.
I have a
stuff. I'm
follow-up
sorry,
story to
either
the
way.
Mothman
But
thing,
go ahead.
too.
Go ahead.
So, like, it's not much of a story other than Richard Gere. Like, he had his trailer outside of our high school, and, like, I was at practice. So, like, we had some time to kill. So we're like, oh, let's go meet Richard Gere. Like,
Because you can just do that.
yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And they had like a security guard that watched the trailers because, like, I mean, it was in a high school parking lot, so you should. So like, we walked up and we're like, "Hey, we're here to meet Richard Gere," and they're like, the security guard's like,
No, you're not.
No, you're not. He's like, he's not even here right now, and no, you're not going to meet Richard Gere. And there's like a pizza box. And we're just like, hey, that pizza box, what's going on there? And he's like, he ordered pizza from some like Monongahela and like pizza.
It was probably Pizza Outlet or whatever we had.
No, it was like
It was
a
a Dottores.
Dottore?
It might have been
Foxes?
Dottores. Maybe I think it was Foxes.
Yeah.
Foxes stinks, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Foxes does stink, but
does,
it
yeah.
was from
Boo.
Foxes. And we're like, well, can we have his pizza? And Mr. La-di-da Hollywood only ate like half the pizza.
He only ate half a pizza.
The story was he never touched it.
No, I think there were some slices missing. I don't know. But anyways, we got back to the wrestling part of the gym. And like, we're looking at the pizza. We're like, well, should we eat the pizza? Now, mind you, it's been like sitting outside for like probably a couple days.
So it's probably no good.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll eat the pizza, whatever. So I ate a slice of Richard Gere's pizza, and then we're like, well, what are we going to do with the box? We're like, well,
Put it
maybe
back.
no. We're like, well, maybe he'll come back, and then we can get it signed. So we're like, that would be pretty badass. Well, what should we do? Like, this is valuable, like, stuff. Like, what are we going to do with it?
This is real Hollywood memorabilia.
Yeah.
So
Richard Gere's Fox's pizza box.
Empty pizza box.
yeah. So like,
Have him sign the actual pizza.
outside
Take that on Antiques Roadshow. Now I'm seeing that there is still some burnt cheese stuck to the inside of the box.
they're like matching up like Richard Gere's bite marks to the pizza slice. Like,
They
yep,
have
this is
dental
original.
Yeah.
But like outside the wrestling room, it was like I don't know how you would describe it. Like that towel that you can push up, like the ceiling sort of deal.
Acoustic
What's it-
towel.
Yeah. So we're like, well, we got to hide this.
We gotta hide this.
So we pushed up one of those towels and we put the pizza box up in the ceiling and then replaced the towel. And then we all forgot about it
I
immediately
wonder if
after.
it's still there.
I wonder if it's still there.
probably-
Here's
they-
pizza box is still at Ringgold High School.
Yeah.
They probably go through every year, like see whatever the little bastards put up there.
So my follow up to that. So this is years ago, at least 10 years ago, at the movies with friends. I don't remember what movie we were seeing, but we're at the waterfront, the Lowe's movie theater there in the waterfront. And we were walking in the movie, and there's some guy, he's handing out flyers for a screening of a Richard Gere film. And he's telling us, that, like, he's like, and Richard Gere, he's in the movie, he's going to be there, and whatever. And my friend says, Richard Gere's an asshole. And the guy goes, excuse me, why? Because he ordered a whole pizza and didn't even eat it. And he's like, and how does that make him an asshole?
He wasted food.
Because he ordered a whole pizza and didn't even eat it. And that's the end of my follow-up story.
Okay, I have a follow-up story to that too.
Does it involve Richard Gere's pizza?
It involves a Mothman Prophecies.
We want to hear more about Richard Gere's pizza. But go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, they filmed part of that movie out. My family owns some property out in Ginger Hill.
Okay.
Okay. And they filmed a lot of the interior scenes and some of the exterior scenes on our neighbor's property. Okay. And as my mom was going down there one day, they were cleaning all the they were cleaning up the set and stuff, lights, and they were taking shit down. and part of it was on our property, and my mom is really protective about it, so she was like really
Of course.
pissed.
Yeah.
Why are you on my property and all that? Oh, we're just cleaning up. We weren't actually on your property. Which they weren't.
Yeah.
So, but he was cleaning up and that, and they went, oh, we're filming a movie with Richard Gere and, and all that. Oh, what's it called? Oh, it's like called The Mothman Prophecies, and then the guy who was just a regular worker said, if you want to be an extra, we need extras for some scenes, so give me your name and contact info and I'll let you know. And Mom's like, yeah, sure, thanks. And the guy left, and she told me about it later. She says, oh, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I gave him the contact info, so he's supposed to call us. But they never called us, so I never got to be an extra in the Mothman Prophecies. I was very sad.
Oh.
I felt ripped off.
That is like a very big like Southwest PA thing, like getting too close to your like property.
Yeah.
I remember the township would come out and like repave the roads. My mom would like pitch a fit like every single like PennDOT season, where she'd be like, they're going to take more of our property off. They're going to repave the roads. It's going to go more into our property. They're widening the roads.
Hey, that's true.
Those roads needed widened.
That's
Yeah,
true.
they
I
did.
worked for PennDOT, and the machine that did that was literally called the widener.
That's what I'm called.
Oh, hey.
Ooh.
Nice.
Getting a little blue here. This is after hours.
This is Lawrence Watson Show After Dark.
Joke's on you. I can't be widened anymore.
Ew.
That should be a Dylan and Delmont song, The Widener. Ba, 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 ba.
Were you saying Dion and the Belmonts?
Yeah, I think
Dion,
that's what you
Dylan,
meant.
whatever.
Yeah, I didn't know who the fuck you were talking about.
He was like Dylan and Dion and the Dylan and the Belmonts.
I'm the caper guy. No, I can't.
Let's-
Okay,
I can't think of anything.
We've sung enough on the show.
No, we haven't.
The Widener.
You know, we have enough to
Widener.
form a singing group.
Technically, yes.
We have 4 of us.
There are
A
4.
really bad singing group,
That's all right.
Yeah.
except for me.
Can you sing bass without assistance?
I can't sing anything without assistance.
I could do it. I could do a good dub dub dub.
That was pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was. All right. Turn up the bass and I'll try it again.
You have to kind
He
of
needs
get the
assistance.
yeah, pow. Yeah.
Duke, Duke, Duke.
Guys, this is bad radio again.
Yeah, I
Bad
know.
radio. All right.
Good radio. Oh, shit.
I almost want to just.
All right. Topic number 2.
Go. Do you have something?
No, I thought we did. I thought somebody else
There was
had
something, wasn't there?
Yeah, I mentioned I wanted to talk about our favorite King of the Hill episode. Top 5 or so. You don't like King of the Hill either, Timmy?
I
What-
like it.
What listings that we could make that you would like? Because I want to know this. I want to include you. We
Probably list his favorite vegetables because he's a vegan fag.
Like maybe like top 10 reasons why the Beatles are like overrated.
Okay, go ahead. You have the floor.
give us 5, give us 10.
Give us 1.
4.
Give us 1.
Well,
I wasn't even
gonna
going to bring up the damn Beatles.
Because I gotta think
They're
about
just like overrated, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you invented music,
Okay.
Okay.
I'll give my I don't know if this is my favorite King of the Hill episode, but it's one that always stands out, you know.
Okay.
Because John and I and our brother Doug, we were early adopters. You know, we watched King of the Hill like literally when it first came on the air on Fox.
We were sold immediately.
at 7:30.
I did too, actually.
Right
I'm
before-
right
Although
with you.
sometimes it was preempted by by the football.
Yeah,
game.
football game.
It went to
was
overtime.
always-
We were like, "Fuck!"
oh
Yeah.
man, especially Futurama.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
Futurama.
always
Yeah.
preempted by football. Anyway, so we watched King of the Hill from the very beginning, and every Sunday we were watching King of the Hill, and then The Simpsons. It was on at 8:00. King of the Hill was on at 7:30. So we did notice that there was a decline in the quality of King of the Hill at one point, and this is actually long before the series ended. I think it was after. I want to say, John, you know what episode I'm talking about.
I don't know what episode you're talking about.
Okay, so I think it was.
Because upon repeat viewings now, I don't think the series ever really declined in quality.
Yeah,
The
on
only-
repeat
the-
viewings, but in the
the-
moment when you're watching week to week,
I think
it is different.
I think there's certain attitudes that you develop as an early adopter, especially whenever you're a fucking kid,
yeah,
You're a
and
fucking kid.
and you're just looking for reasons to be pissed off, especially
Maybe.
when other people start liking shit that you liked first.
maybe, but I mean, consider there is a lot of a real different perspective when you're watching the show when it's actually on week to week. Every week, you have to wait an entire week between episodes. It is a lot different than watching it, back to back to back to back.
Because I got all most of us have
Or
all
you're
the
just picking
episodes
one
that
out
are
at
Spanish.
random
Yeah,
and watching
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
You're going, King of the Hill, great. But anyway, yeah. So there was an episode where they believe that I think Dale is the exterminator at the Megalomart because they think they have a pest problem.
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And what he ends up finding out is that it's actually Chuck Mangione,
Yes.
he's like a spokesman for the Megalomart. He's actually living in the Megalomart in a fort made out of paper towel, paper towels or something like that.
I actually thought that episode was hilarious.
Toilet paper. And I thought that episode was really great, and especially
The
at the
best part
end,
about it was that remember he tried to lay traps for Chuck Mangione by like a marked down Chuck Mangione
Right. Yeah, he
with
puts
a net above it.
Chuck Mangione CDs and tries to attract Chuck Mangione. But the best part, I don't think he ever actually catches Chuck Mangione.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't because at the end you see Chuck Mangione on the roof of the
No,
Megalomart.
they meet face to face.
Oh,
And Chuck Mangione was hiding out in the Megalomart because he got tired of doing all the personal appearances for every time the Megalomart opened.
that's right. And then, but
I didn't really read my contract too well, and when I signed up for it, I couldn't do all those appearances.
Right.
But
But the best part, and I'm going to close out my review, is Chuck Mangione on the roof of the Megalomart at night with his flugelhorn playing. That was Feels So Good, in case you couldn't figure it out.
Well, it didn't feel so good to listen to. Let me tell you that.
Oh. No need to be mean.
That hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we got Lawrence on line too. Lawrence in Uniontown. Go ahead. Favorite King of the Hill.
My favorite King of the Hill episode is probably pretty cliche. You all know it. It's a firefighting we will go.
Okay.
The Three Stooges homage episode, where Hank, Dale, Bill, and Boomhauer are all volunteer firefighters, and they proceed to go through Three Stooges like hijinks, along with Chet Elderson, who was voiced by Buddy Ebsen.
Get out.
Interesting.
Buddy Ebsen, the original Tin Man, who had to quit the role because he was allergic to the
Aluminum paint.
lead in the paint.
No, aluminum paint.
Well, it was lead. He had a lead. It was lead.
Now, didn't he
It was
also
lead paint.
didn't he also play Jed Clampett?
He
Yeah.
did. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
He had his Alamo beer sign.
Yeah, plug in my sign. Go plug in my
Grandma,
sign.
plug in my sign.
You can't plug in the sign. It don't work right. And then it burned down the Chet
Yeah,
Elderson.
burned down this firehouse and
Right, and that episode features the sitcom classic of telling the story, and you hear each person's different
yeah. So
perspective.
it's a
where
Rachel
it's always
story.
whoever's telling the story is the nice guy, and everybody else in the story is an asshole.
That trope came about from an old Japanese movie. It's the Rashomon plot where each person has their own perspective on how the story went.
Yeah, can we talk about Boomhauers?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Because those
Because
of
you do it really well.
Well, it takes a little bit of preparation, but the thing about Boomhauers was those of you who aren't familiar with the show, Boomhauer has a very distinct, fast, and
Yeah, dangle.
unintelligible way of talking. So it's tell you what, man, Dangle just trying to get an Iron City beer,
He
talking
talks
about
like
yo man,
a NASCAR driver in the '80s.
I guess. But the best part about Boomhauers was everybody else sounded like Boomhauer.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what, man, Dangle just.
that pretty pizza.
And then Boomhauer's the only one talking normal. God dang it, guys!
I've been trying to read an article about classic Camaros, and I've been on the same dang page for half an hour.
Tell you what, man, Dangle just pretty pizza.
Yeah, pretty pizza.
Everybody Loves Raymond did that same device. They used that for an
Yeah.
episode.
I think
Most sitcoms do it. Most television shows do
Yeah.
it once, because it's just a it's just a popular story. It's just a popular way to frame a story.
Plus, you can do a lot with it.
Yeah.
You know, you have this structure that you can play with. You know, but you got anything else on your episode?
Pretty Dresses is another good one.
Oh God.
Where-
Why are you calling
yeah.
me Bill?
Yeah. My name's Lenore.
Lenore.
Where Bill has a mental breakdown. But one of my favorite scenes in that doesn't involve Bill losing his mind as Lenore. It's actually before that, where he has the dinner date with that one woman, and he has the iguana,
Oh.
Lenore.
Oh yeah.
He named the iguana Lenore, right? So afterward, he has a nightmare, runs into the Hills' bedroom as they're sleeping, and says, Hank, I had a nightmare that Lenore came back and took Lenore. So I ran out in the middle of the street yelling, Lenore! Lenore! And then my teeth fell out. Peggy, you were there. So that was my favorite, even more than why do you keep calling me Bill? Bill, the
Bill.
Yeah, the voice crack. Even more than that was and then my teeth fell out. Peggy, you were there. Just Stephen Root in general is so great.
Stephen Root is an underrated actor.
Yes. Not on this show. Certainly not on this show. He is appropriately rated by this show.
Well, I don't think I have a favorite. I've been trying, as you guys were just jabbering,
Yeah.
to think of one, and nothing.
One doesn't stand out.
I don't
at
know
all.
why it doesn't stand out.
I'm the same way. Like I have like little like bits of like clips, but like I don't have like a favorite episode.
I mean, I'm gonna have to agree with Jeff on just the total killer ending of Chuck Mangione playing on the roof.
Yeah.
With the moon behind him, with his silhouette,
But that's also, it was kind of a context thing for me at the time, because I think, we were young, but we had all kind of agreed, you Doug and myself, that King of the Hill had gone downhill and it wasn't that great. It had gotten a little more serious from the beginning. I think it was probably, I don't know when that episode aired, what season that
Probably
was
like
in.
season
This
7
is
or
in the
so.
days before people talked about season whatever. And,
Yeah.
Right,
You
yeah.
just watched
Yeah.
the show. It was on or it wasn't. You couldn't go and to Netflix or on demand or whatever. It was just on TV, and you hope to be able to see it in a rerun during the summer if you missed it.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was a different time, and at
Good
that time we
time.
had decided that King of the Hill started to suck a little bit.
I don't recall any of this. I think
Really?
you kind of did this on your own and expected us to agree with you.
No, I did not do this. I know we all kind of thought the same thing.
I think probably that's when The Simpsons began sucking, and we were probably just equating it,
Maybe you were
just
projecting.
applying it across the
Yeah.
Fox
Across the
Sunday
Fox
night
Sunday
animation lineup.
I remember I didn't like Futurama when it came out, and I didn't like Arrested Development either.
Well-
Arrested Development's
Arrested Development is a character-driven show.
so it sucked for a TV format because like
You
it
had-
was like a lot of inside jokes where you had to like
You had to watch a few of them and understand
A
the
lot
characters. and
of repeat humor that
Yeah, and it really
works
helped
better if you're watching them like a bunch at a time.
A bit
Yeah.
like this show, actually.
and that's kind of why, in that way, Arrested Development was before its time or ahead of its time, because it would have done a lot better had it been on, Netflix or something like that, where they could release an entire season at once, and you could just be like, all right, I watched the first one, it's okay, I'll go to the next one and see if it gets better.
yeah.
You couldn't do that back then
But if you
because
missed an
you would
episode,
watch
you
it.
were screwed.
You would right,
Yeah.
but you would watch one and then say, I didn't like that show that much. Maybe I'll watch it next week, or maybe I won't. And
Yeah.
chances are you won't, and that's why it only lasted 3 years. On its
News
original
Radio
run.
had a similar problem to that, too.
News Radio wasn't bad from what I remember. What was like other weird sitcoms that were kind of popular but not? What was like the one like Caroline or something? She was, like,
Caroline, the city.
yeah, that one sucked.
Most of them suck.
2 guys, a girl, and a pizza place.
Even
Yeah, I kind
That
I
of.
don't
sucked.
know. The usual, the standard 3 camera, laugh track sitcom. The last good one, I would probably say, was Everybody Loves Raymond. And even that was still extremely formulaic, but the writing and performing was good.
Oh, it's all just blah blah blah.
Oh,
Blah, blah, blah. Ah.
Paladin.
Ah.
Paladin on Netflix is really good. Ray Romano's in it, and he plays like it's kind of like I don't know. Plays like an older dude.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
sad.
old, Deborah. I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm 60 now.
It's hard to walk.
My balls are sagging.
He's
Hey,
as old
Ma.
as Frank was when they started.
I got my balls caught in my underwear. Deborah.
I think
My bones are shrinking from osteoporosis.
I don't think men can get that.
Yeah, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, they do. They get smaller.
All they do is get smaller, but I think it's because of Parkinson's, not because of...
Parkinson's. What the hell are
Parkinson's?
you talking about?
You see people hunched over, that's for Parkinson's.
Old men shrink.
Yeah, they do.
We all shrink.
Yeah.
I
Except
watched
me,
this
except my waistline.
documentary on this dude that wanted to preserve his penis
Mm-hmm.
because there was like this museum and they had all these different penises in it from like different animals and they
The
wanted
dick
a
museum?
human one. Yeah, there was a dick museum.
Oh, I got something to go with that, but I'll let you continue.
Well, it's not much of a story other than that I learned like they got this old dude that was like, yeah, when I die you can have my dick. But then he backed out because he's like, my dick isn't what it used to be. It used to be really magnificent. Now I'm older, and when you get older, your dick shrinks. And then there was
no!
yeah, there was a living donor that was just like, you guys can take it right now. But they're like, I don't know if that's ethical. And he's like, come on, man, cut off my dick. Like,
Why did he want his dick? How's he going to pee?
well, one,
And
it was
fuck.
kind of he like felt like it was a good dick. He was like, it's pretty big, it's good. He got an American flag tattooed on the tip of it.
Yeah,
Jesus
USA.
Christ.
USA!
So there's-
USA!
There's this great scene when he goes to the doctor, and this female doctor is inspecting the dick for whatever.
This is a magnificent dick.
And she's like,
It should
she's
belong
like
in a
looking at
museum.
it, and it's like, okay, it doesn't look like there's anything. What's this on? Is this like is this makeup on the tip?
This is a very fine penis, but I don't know if it's a museum-worthy penis.
My follow-up to that is I'd have a coworker, and a lot of people from Fayette County work where I work. And Fayette County, for those of you who aren't around here, your listeners, is, very rustic, we'll say.
Hill folk.
Hill people, indeed. And he collects raccoon dicks
As you do.
because he uses them as toothpicks.
You can't just go to the store and buy a thing of
How?
toothpicks.
Toothpicks are like 49 cents
Yeah.
for a box of 800. You don't have to kill any raccoons.
So wait.
I think it's like a collector's piece, you
But
know?
why does he use them as toothpicks?
I don't know.
At least Davy
it's Fayette,
Crockett
it's
wore
Fayette
it as a
County,
hat,
man. You really
know?
can't explain.
How? What does a raccoon dick look
Well,
like?
it's bony. And I don't mean in your sophomore bone way. There's bones in it. There's
Excuse
a lot
me,
of
I'm not sophomoric.
Oh, sorry.
We are
Ah.
You're
we are
sophisticated.
junior.
And it's about the same size as a toothpick then.
No. It's long and it just comes to a point at the end. It's convenient for picking your teeth, I guess. Yeah, kind of like what he's demonstrating, which
None of you can see,
None
thankfully.
of you can see.
Sucking a raccoon dick.
But so he keeps them in his toolbox in a
Or
plastic
demonstrating
bag.
blowing a raccoon.
And every time a new guy comes to work, like a new guy gets hired, ever see a coon dick? Because it's fun to fuck with people. And he sprung it on one of the new employees, and then somehow I got hold of this bag, and I was literally holding a bag of dicks.
Wow, that's awesome.
I was like, bag of dicks, because Louis C.K. has popularized
did
the.
you,
Yeah.
John, did you suck the bag of dicks?
I did not suck the bag of
Ah,
dicks.
you son of a bitch.
Well, no one told me to.
If they-
suck a
if-
bag of dicks.
If they had told you to, you would have done it, right?
Oh, please tell me that if someone at your work ever tells you to suck a bag of dicks,
I'm gonna go to the guy's toolbox.
you go to that guy's toolbox and be like, excuse me, I need to borrow this.
That's coon dicks. That's coon dicks.
So,
So
I think
We're done.
we've fooled around long enough, don't you?
I don't know.
What do you guys think?
I'm good.
You're good.
I have to pee.
Yeah. I kinda
Okay,
have to
so
piss
yeah.
now.
So everybody has to make pee-pee sprinkles. We've fooled around long enough.
All right.
All right, so
We got about 20 minutes of useful material out of this, I think.
yeah, probably it's gonna be. Jesus Christ, what is with the number 16? This
don't
is
know.
attempt number 2, So.
Yeah.
But anyway, so for John, for Jeff, for Tim, I'm Lawrence. Sorry. Saying so long, everyone. Bye-bye.
Oh, I have a gross picture to show you.